Welcome. I'm Chris McKean.
I'm Andy Kiner.
We're all about cross-country racing, and typically it starts with 10 seconds.
But not in Iowa. In Iowa, it all starts with hands-on helmets.
Welcome, everyone. Pretty good show tonight. I think we've got some updates to talk about. We've got a two-time champion from round one joining the broadcast a little later. We got Lou and his daughter Lizzy going to join us here in just a few minutes, talk about their events that they participated in in round one. But before we get started, what's new with you?
Just trying to keep up, getting ready for round two, and seems like round four we got some stuff going on behind the scenes that we're trying to get figured out, and getting ready to head to Cahokia at some point too. So it's all about racing right now.
Yeah, we're in the thick of it, trying to balance everything out this week. It's been kind of a challenge for me. I've got a lot going on personally, rushing from my daughter's choir recital for kindergarten. So that was a big rush attending that, and then rushing home to get the podcast started here. But,
Those are the things you never forget, though, man. You got to be there. That's for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'm just hoping we can have fun Saturday.
I've got the itch, man. I'm hoping. For those who don't know, Andy and I we love sprint cars. So the plan is to go down to Knoxville on Saturday, which it's a earlier start, right? Right now it's advertised at 5:15 hot laps.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah,
So,
we got the series car down there. We've talked about before. It's 7A of Jack Anderson. Has the series logo on the car and everything, and looking forward to cheering him on. He's got some cool new shirts, and I don't know if weather's going to allow it to happen. Looks like it's going to be pretty cold. I sure hope so. Oh, you know what, Chris? Hey, I got something else for you too. What do we like doing when we go to Knoxville?
We like to do a little banging and spinning you around in circles and go-karts.
Yeah, you spun me a few times. So, but Jack actually sent me some photos the other day, him or Kelly. And, remember his 7A car out there at Slideways?
Yeah.
It's also got the IATV HSS sticker on it. So
nice. And that one's where's that one located at, right? I heard it's different.
I think that's on the hood.
Is that the front hood?
Yeah, I think that's on the front hood, but so we'll have to be flipping or rock, paper, scissors to see who gets to erase the 7A car now.
Yeah. So open invitation if you guys are around Knoxville on Saturday or Des Moines area. Hit one of us up. It's always nice to go down in a group. We kind of cheer on, have a good time. But
just make sure it's clear, Chris, that they only can bump a McKean car when we're racing. That's it. Chris doesn't make it more than 2 laps. We all know that. We take Chris out. Except when your boy comes.
Yeah. Yep. So, all right. Yeah. So, ready? First guest, we have Lou and Lizzy.
Lou had a good weekend down there.
All right. Hey, guys.
There we
Welcome.
Go.
Hi.
How is Lou and Lizzy tonight?
Tired.
Yeah. It's kind of the usual around here. We're always doing more than we should be doing.
Yeah.
Because you guys have quite the kids all in sports and different school events too, right?
Oh yeah.
Yep. So
what came from synchronized swimming practice.
Yeah. About an hour ago, I actually came home from synchronized swimming.
Wow.
So what other activities are you involved in?
Hockey, Boy Scouts.
Nice.
What else?
That's most of it. I mean, hockey's almost a full-time job just for that.
No.
I'm not currently in swim team, but I also do swim team.
Very nice.
Racing instead of synchronized swimming.
Instead of synchronized swimming.
So Lou, how many kids do you have? Other kids then too?
I have one other kid, a son that's 11.
Got it. And what
He's
activities?
not a racer though.
No, he is not. He didn't even come to the last race.
No.
What activities is he involved in?
Basketball,
Yeah, he's
watching
playing
a ton of
basketball.
sports.
Playing basketball right now. He plays hockey too. He might be switching to basketball. We'll see how things go next fall.
Well, you are busy, aren't you?
Oh yeah. And I've for the last few years I've been coaching both of their hockey teams, so that keeps me busy from October until the end of February.
Probably, yeah.
Wow.
Interesting.
Come March, we're ready for a break and looking ahead to the racing season now.
Yeah, but hockey has already started again for me.
She does a summer
So-
program too.
Yeah, summer, not spring.
You gotta get
So-
ready for summer.
Speaking of the racing season, you guys had a pretty good first round. Lou,
Yeah.
you got
It was fun.
so Lizzy was your first race. How did it meet your expectations at all, or were you a little nervous at first?
I was very nervous at first.
What did you were raced in the 90 stock class? Were you a little bit intimidated lining up with those other 28 or so machines on there on the line?
Definitely.
Oh.
Yeah, that was a heck of a lineup.
Yeah,
And
a lot of
then
good class.
Mm,
And then Lizzy gets done, and your machine shows up on the adult 90, Lou.
Yeah,
What gave
mhm.
she had no idea what I was doing to it. She was inside getting changed and didn't realize I was planning to embarrass her.
Yeah, I was not happy.
oh,
Well, it
I wish
worked.
Yeah, just found a whole bunch of, since her graphics weren't in yet for the machine. I figured I'd decorate it with her face all over it. So I just found all kinds of different pictures and stuck them everywhere, and it was good enough to take the win. So,
good enough to take the
Nobody
win
else
and
did anything, Dad.
got the championship belt proudly displayed up there. We'll see if you can hold it on to it at round 2. It's going to be a little bit more challenging.
I'm trying to. Are you guys ever going to tell us what a 90 challenge is?
Yeah, we can actually
we
go
can-
over that.
Yeah, we can.
Really quick though. Look at, is that the belt up there on top?
Yeah, yep, it is.
Gotcha. Have you proudly shown that off?
I haven't really had a chance to yet.
Really?
Gotta find a good place to just wear it around and do my best
Yeah.
Macho Man Randy Savage voice or something.
How about my meet on Saturday?
Yeah, you want me to wear it to your meet?
Yeah, you can.
Oh,
Well, we got to take a second here and definitely thank Jason Mickelson and Century 21 for providing that belt for us for the adult 90s. I think we had 11 of them that day, and I think we're going to actually get some more. But 11 of them that day. There were some people was a little confused because we weren't racing that day, even though we had advertised, doing the show type thing. But I wish we could have raced. But Lou, I don't know if you even heard us or knew about this, but we just really want to get things started on time, and a little rust on us, and maybe and everybody come in the line. We just want to make sure that we got the racing's got to come first, and then we have fun and stuff. But it all went pretty well and got him up there. And I'm not sure if you even know this, Lou, but we were going to have the landowner, because he really don't know a lot of the racers at all. We were going to have him do the voting and stuff and on them. Well, he hadn't shown up yet when we needed to do it. So
that's why the EMTs did it.
Yeah, the EMTs just happened to walk up to me to ask me a question. I'm like, hey. So we had the 2 EMTs went over there and did the judging and gave us the top 5. And yeah, you came out the winner on that thing. So that was pretty cool. But
good times.
So yeah, and then so going back to that 90, Lizzy, what did you're up there, you're ready for the starts, you got your hands on the helmets, the board drops, you take off. What's your first thought there? Or how did you do on the start?
I wasn't last on the start.
Yeah.
oh,
Did you get in the groove right away, kind of just riding and kind of chilling, or?
Took about a lap to get into the groove.
Yeah. And how was the track for you?
It was fun. Once I got over my initial fear during the first lap, it was so much fun.
Really?
I would have, if I didn't get stuck one last time, I would have been able to go for a fourth lap. But I got stuck where no adult was.
Oh, shoot. You able to get yourself unstuck then?
No, an adult ended up coming along.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
Workers got you out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So did you find any rocks at all, or was it just pretty smooth?
Lots of rocks.
Just lots of rocks. Yeah, I think you'll be happy to know that that's really, especially on the kids course, you'll get a little bit at Fort Dodge, but for the most part, you really won't get much rock. You got 10 times more rock at that track than you'll get the whole rest of the year. So
Okay.
should be pretty good. So did anything happen during the race, like really made a difference in your race, like other than getting stuck, obviously, that last time?
I don't think so.
Was everybody kind of understanding you? You know, I mean, coming around you, maybe whether it be a lap or you passing somebody, a lot of sportsmanship going on.
Yeah.
Was there? Good. And did you see your dad making funny faces at you when you came by, excited for you?
You made funny faces at me?
I don't think so. Not on purpose. It's just the way.
Yeah. I ended up getting stuck right in front of my dad and my cousin because they were distracting me.
Just saying, go Lizzy.
You guys were distracting me on a harder part.
I guess I shouldn't cheer for her anymore.
Don't distract me on the harder parts.
So, Lou, being the first time you had a little one racing, how was your nerves?
It wasn't bad. It was good to once I saw her come by that first time. Definitely felt a lot better. Saw that she was doing well and having fun. By the time I got down to that ravine where I was helping out, she had already gone by for the first time. So it took quite a while to actually see her. Once she went by, I felt pretty good.
Cool. We sure appreciate being down there helping. There was a lot of parents down in there helping, and that's something we're always proud of in the series. Is obviously the kids are number one, but it's so proud to have the parents out there, you know, helping with it. And we always try to describe it to everybody in the line as the fact that we have a lot of people helping, you know, our people out there on the track, but if they have to stop, that's one less place that we might see them, you know. So having the parents be able to stop, you know, like you were down there in that place, it allows our guys to keep moving, you know, to make sure no one's having issues. So we sure appreciate that.
Yep. You gotta stay on your toes down there, though. It went to help one kid that was stuck, and another one went to go around him and almost ran me over. I had to jump out of the way just in time.
Yeah. Thank God there's some option lanes, huh?
Yeah.
So
would have thought where I was standing wouldn't be a good option, but what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
So Lou, then we get through the kids, we get through your adult 90s, and then you get all strapped in and the side by side. So tell us a little bit about your race.
Well, I was racing in the B class last year, so this year I moved up to A. So kind of a, like you said a couple of times in the podcast, chasing the competition and, you know, not trying to hide from it. So figured I'd move up after getting some experience. Had a terrible start, but was able to work my way up through the pack, and unfortunately a lot of broken and stuck cars along the way, but finished third by the end of 5 laps, I guess it was.
He popped his tire.
No, I didn't. I got a very slow leak, so when we put it back in the toy hauler, I didn't pull it out for 2 days after we got home, and the tire was almost flat at that point.
Oh, gotcha. Who you talking about your start and everything, get going? How was it for you as far as, because you're the only one on a 4-seater, correct? In the series. And this is a wider track, I think. There's definitely some spots I'm sure that tightened you up a little bit, and your turning radius I don't think should have been too bad here, was it?
No, I didn't really have much trouble here. I mean, I make good use of my tree kickers, and I definitely tap the back end on the trees going through here and there. But there was a couple of good spots, and I got a good gouge on one of them from this one, so I'm pretty sure I bounced off a rock somewhere.
His first race, you completely squished the tree kickers.
Yeah, last year I destroyed the passenger side. Just on that first race alone.
Oh man,
that's something stronger now.
So what did you think about, like, obviously you had probably a little bit more elevation change at this race than what your typical races have been. You got a little bit more rock. You've seen a lot. You got some crit crossings, or at least 3 crit crossings, I think.
Yeah, a couple of them were kind of deep. We got pretty wet going through there.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, that was kind of my fault. I went to clear a spot because they weren't the best to start out with, and when I cleared them on, I want to say that was Thursday, all it did was kind of dam them up a little bit, and so hey, it made it interesting. So
it did. It was just a surprise though after you told us everything was going to be just a trickle. So
right? Yeah.
That first time we got soaked, well, I guess plans changed.
Yeah, we'll blame that on Chris.
Yep, my fault. I'll make sure there's no. I'll make sure it's completely dry next round for you. I'll go out there with the towel.
Ooh, I'd still take wet over the dust from last year.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So what did you think about the hill climb, the rocky hill climb that had the 2 option lanes?
I didn't have too much trouble with that, other than because of the way we approached it, I always missed the better path until I was already too late to turn into it. So I almost always took the one that was farther to the right, which was slower to get up for sure.
You know, I agree with you. It's probably slower but if somebody was in front of you, I feel like the lane that you took might have been a better option, just because when I was watching you guys, I noticed it seemed like about the first 15 feet, 20 feet on that second option was the worst. But after that, it kind of smoothed out really, but it lined you up for the exit. It's kind of like racing an oval and being on the inside. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it sets you up there at the end, but
you're kind of coming in like straight across the path of the track. Whereas if you take the one from the left, it's almost putting you right into the direction that you want to go already. So I thought you could come out of the one on the left a little faster.
Gotcha. Yep. It was fun watching you guys. That's where I got to real quick to make sure, no one went past there because you'd been in big trouble. But
yeah,
watching you side by sides.
That first lap, you pointed out the left path, and that's what I took. And I missed it every other time after that until the last lap when I happened to be following right behind somebody that took it.
Oh, geez. Well, it's kind of fun having 2 lanes. Like I said, I think I've seen 7 of you guys at one point on that hill all together, at the 2 of them. It just looked really cool watching you guys go up that, navigating your way. But yeah. That was pretty cool. So tell us what was one of the highlights or a couple highlights of your race in the side-by-side?
Let's see. Nothing that really stands out in particular. I did like that big curve at the end when you first come out of the woods, but before, if you're kind of making a few last turns before we come into scoring.
Mm-hmm.
There's a big left-hand turn marked out with the cones where you can really kind of get sliding around that. So we've had some good battles there trying to get position on people before we had to slow down. That was a fun spot.
Do you have any issues with passing out there? I know it was kind of a tight track, but I think there was enough spots.
Yeah, I didn't really have much trouble. And most of the passes that I made that time were people that had already broken down or were clearing mud out of their grills, and so I didn't actually catch anybody this time. I tend not to be the fastest guy out there, but I'm consistent and I don't break down.
Yeah,
I just jinx myself now, of course.
Knock on wood.
Just trying to
knock on wood.
Okay.
Do it.
There you go. So trying not to hit the big trees and keep everything together.
Well, I think you've done a fine job. You know, when I first seen that 4-seater, I got to admit, I was like, uh-oh, you know, this is going to be interesting. But you've done really well with it, navigating it. And I think it's a lot more, what do I want to say, you know, maneuverable than you would think, you know, being a 4-seater and longer gives you a little bit smoother ride, don't it?
Yeah, and I think I've turned a few heads because people just don't expect me to be fast out there. But honestly, I think when I'm catching up on people, it's usually more in the tighter technical parts. I think I'm kind of better at driving that part. I think the faster open sections, I'm still getting used to how this thing handles and everything. So I think I hold back more than I need to. But when I'm catching people, it's usually in the trees.
So people underestimate you.
Yeah. So tell us, going into round 2, are you guys making adjustments to any of your machines preparing for the second race?
Well, I've got a new set of bead locks and tires on the way that I don't know if I'm going to have that in time. I think I should, just so I don't have to run on a plugged tire. And then I'm actually a computer engineer by trade. So I've made a little device that's gonna hopefully try to help me get a better start. I've got something that'll time my ignition and give me a little green light when it should be okay to hit the gas once it's started long enough. I didn't quite have that dialed in last time, so it hurt me. But we'll see if it works out this time.
Wow. So if you get the whole shot, you might have a lot of other people knocking on your door saying, "Hey, right? Let's talk, huh?"
Yeah, we'll see if I can get it working the way I want it to.
So I'm anxious to hear this. You said you got some new bead locks and tires on the way. Mind me asking what tires you end up going with?
I went with GBC Dirt Commander 2s.
Very nice choice. Yep.
Yep.
You know, I got to tell you, GBC, everybody's got their own favorite, you know. But GBC, I guarantee you, over any other tire brand, period, and there's a lot of great ones, but has done more for riders in the Midwest than any other tire ever thought about. They've really put a lot into it. We sure appreciate them being involved. They've been involved with us now, what, Chris? 15 years?
Yeah.
Since the very first Heartland. Helping out with the youth riders, giving tires away, giveaways to, well, look at last year's Heartland, man. We gave away 300 and some tires, I think it was. Yep. So that's awesome. Cool. Now, don't forget each race to get down there and fill out your GBC contingency form, though.
Yep. People on the forums pointed that out to me, so that was I was already leaning that way anyway, but that helped make the decision on which ones to go with.
Yeah. Just remember, you got to fill out every race, and it's got to be filled out, sent in 30 days. No, they got to receive it 30 days after there, no later than that. So definitely thank GBC for what they do. So, well, cool, man. We sure appreciate you guys coming on.
Absolutely. It's been a lot of fun. I'm really glad we found this, and that's kind of the power sports stuff is really something new to our family. So we're just having a great time with it. The reason I race a 4-seater, we bought it just for some family trail riding. We had no thoughts of racing it. And then that first winter, I kind of got bored and started, I wonder if there's somewhere I can go with this thing. That's when I found you guys.
So remind us again, where's home for you guys?
Forest Lake, Minnesota.
Yeah, we're just about 30 minutes north of the Twin Cities.
Okay.
Whoa,
yeah. Okay. So we're coming to your home track next, aren't we?
As close as you get, yeah.
Yeah.
It's still like 4 hours for us, I think.
Very nice.
The show.
This is the one you have to miss, yeah.
Well, we sure appreciate you guys' time and coming on, man. It's been fun having you, learning more about you guys, and see you proudly receiver of the very first Jason Mickelson Century 21 Honda adult 90 championship belt there. So yeah, very cool. You'll go down in history as being the first one on that.
Yeah, nobody else can be that, right?
That's right. So
and we'll also go ahead and talk about the 90 challenge for round 2 as well.
Yeah.
Do you want to go ahead and we can let Lou go and put it on our list to do, or you want to talk about it just briefly,
we talked
Andy?
about it with him real quick. I don't have a problem with that.
Sure.
He's the one that asked about it, so everybody can say thank you, Lou.
Yeah. Lou, were you at the Heartland or the Fort Dodge race last year?
No, it wasn't. I wasn't looking forward to it this
Okay.
year though. Planning to be at both this time.
So there's a stock car track kind of on the property. So in the middle of that stock car track is kind of a motocross track, I guess we can say, that we've kind of built 3-4 years ago, Andy. We've kind of used it here and there. It's been used for other events, but the 90 challenge will be used. We're going to use that track for the challenge. So Andy, you want to?
Yeah, so we'll bracket you. We'll do a drawing, and Chris will pull the names out of a hat, basically, or how Chris decides to do it there. But basically, we'll pull the names out, and let's say there's 12 of you, okay? So there'll be a 16-man bracket, basically. And your names will get pulled out as a 1, a 2, a 5, all the way to 16. You'll get put in that bracket. So you won't all race at the same time, okay? So, Lou, let's say that you're racing Paul. You get chose the first one. So you two will come down there, and Chris is right. There's 4 jumps there in the middle, okay? So you will line up. You will line up there, and we're basically going to have it to where you're about 10 feet in front of the jump, okay? Hands on helmets, motors running, everything. When we drop the board, those two, the first pair will take off. You'll go up and over to the first jump. And when we say a jump, it's probably what, Chris, 30, 40-foot tabletop?
Yeah, it's only 2 feet off the ground. It's not very big at all.
Yeah.
So
it's a good size, piece of dirt. You know what I mean? So
sure, we'll clear that up in the 90s.
Yeah, maybe not the first one, but we'll see. But so anyway, when we drop that board, you'll take off. You'll go up and over the first jump. You'll come down. There's another one directly right after it. You'll go up and over it. And then if you can picture this, there's 2 other jumps right beside those, okay? So you're going to make a 180 and come down right between all the jumps. Make another 180. You'll go up and over the third jump. You'll go up and over the second jump. You'll make a 180 and come back. And when you come back is when you cross that line as who the winner is.
Okay.
So then the winner will then move on, and the guy that, unfortunately does not win will be, watching the rest of the time. So we'll have, if there's 12 people in there, we'll basically have, what would that be? 8 first-round matches, right, Chris? Some people might have a bye. So, but then we'll just start eliminating there. So we'll go from 8 to 4 to 2. And then those 2 then will race. I think we agreed to race best 2 out of 3 for the winner each time.
Yep, and we'll also need 3rd and 4th to race each other too. So there's a bracket. We got to have kind of unfortunately, a loser's bracket to kind of determine your top 5. So 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th will go against each other in 5th and 6th.
Gotcha. Yep.
Sounds fun.
So it'll be fun.
So we'll get that all ready. Normally I wasn't going to release it until our pre-show. So the podcast leading up to round 2. But if I can find some time, maybe I'll throw it together this week and we can put it on our list to talk about next week and have the bracket all ready for everyone.
Might be the last call for, well, I guess if we do have people sign up that day, they'll just get drawn in for where a bye is, I believe.
They'll get drawn in for a bye. If we fill up that 16-man bracket, then we'll have a pigtail.
Correct.
So we'll have like a 17, 18 duke it out for the 16th seed.
Yeah, and the only people that'll be in the pigtail is the people that signed up late.
Correct. Yep.
So cool, Lou. Well, you got the information out of us, so you're good to go.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All right. Well, we look forward to seeing you at your home track.
All right. See you in a couple of weeks.
All right. Thanks, Lou.
Thanks, Lou.
Bye, Lizzy.
Bye. Thank you.
You can tell that family has a lot of fun together. That's cool.
Yeah, I was amazed with all the sports. Like Lou and I have been kind of talking back and forth as trying to get a schedule and get him on. Yeah, there's lots of sports. He's kind of like kind of feel like myself as well, trying to navigate all the kids sports as well going on. So, and events. So,
And it's funny you mentioned that, Chris, and our next guest is awful busy racing all around the country and stuff. But that's exactly what, just a little reminder. I get asked all the time about, man, why don't we do 13, 14 races like, some other series or GNCC and stuff? And why are we only doing 7 races a year? Well, that's why we do it, is exactly what we just talked about. When this series changes and it's not about family, I don't want to be a part of it. Let's put it that way. So we only do 7 races once a month so that you can do that. Go to the dance recitals and the hockey games and the basketball and the wrestling. If you want to go do more racing, it's like Kole does all the time. You got time to go do that. And we're proud of everybody of, getting to spend time with their families, doing other things. And if we get a get together once a month, feel pretty blessed about that.
Yeah. So speaking of Kole, we can go ahead and bring him on. He not only won the super mini class at round 1, but he had also won the junior class. Welcome, Kole.
What's up?
What's up, bud? You need a haircut. You know that?
I know.
He can't find the time. He's racing too much.
Yeah.
So, Kole, before we go any further, obviously we're going to talk a little bit more about you, but I don't think I even got a chance. I think I said hi to you at the first race. There's just a lot going on, but I know I texted your dad, but man, congratulations on that runner up down there. That looked like it was a miserable track with the weather conditions, but man, you came through second overall. That's unbelievable. Congratulations, bud.
Thank you. Yeah, it was good, buddy.
That had to feel good, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. It felt really good.
Yeah. Well, I didn't mean to jump ahead of us there, but I had to tell you because I felt bad that day after the races. We were talking about stuff, and I was like, I never even said anything to Kole. So
I didn't either.
Just we were definitely following you that day. I was jumping out of my chair, waiting to see you come back through there, man. And I seen your dad on the video running when you were coming back across the finish line there, second overall. That was unbelievable. So yeah. So Kole, let's start in the beginning here though, because you've raced with us. You started your first race with us first time you ever raced.
I have no clue when the first race was.
I think you had just turned 4, if I remember right.
Yeah.
When you started racing and stuff, and the stock 50, I think it was.
Yeah, on a KFX 50.
Yeah.
Kawasaki 50.
Yeah. And then you just started racing them, but your family, let's back up even a little bit further. Yeah, because your dad has raced for many years and went all the way up to AA to be a AA champion in the series. Raced a lot of, I think you guys or your family's done a lot of like TT style too, haven't you?
Yeah, Dad used to do a lot of flat trekking a while back, and then we finally came to XC and started doing that. He used to race cars too.
Yeah, was it hobby stock or modified?
No clue.
No clue. I know it was one of them. I've seen a picture of it.
Like the modified.
Was it? Yeah.
Gotcha. So the racing runs deep in your blood, don't it?
Yeah.
This ain't something you just stumbled across. This is a chosen path, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I got to ask you, so you get started when you're young at 4. That was probably the only stock bike you've ever owned, isn't it?
Yeah. Besides my 90.
Yeah. That's it's really cool because I see your family. I get a lot of people calling, asking about super mini stuff, and a lot of Suzuki guys call. Man, I'm having troubles, and you know what I tell them all, don't you?
What?
Call Brandt. And your dad's always been, just so nice to help everybody. You
Yeah.
guys always got a lot of people over there and a lot of work going on behind the scenes, not just to get you guys ready, but you guys I've noticed will just, drop what you're doing to make sure the competitors are out there and going as well. So that's much appreciated. But man, so your whole family's been racing. I remember even your mom raced before. She
Yep.
was racing. Your sister races. Not to mention the uncles, right? Uncles
Uh,
and cousins.
yeah, I got a lot of cousins that race.
Yeah. So it's when we say a family reunion, it's truly a family reunion for you at a race, isn't it?
Yeah.
So now this year, so let's back up. You won, you know off the top of your head how many championships you've won with us?
I think if you AXCC counts, I think I've won 9.
9 different championships. And how old are you right now?
14.
14. That's amazing. So yeah, it's hard to explain to people when you say this kid's 14 years old, but he's got 10 years of racing experience already.
Yeah.
So very cool. And now this year, I know you guys went to some GNCCs in the past and stuff, some of the locals and, pick and choose, but you guys had chose to go race a full GNCC circuit this year. And I'd be going nuts by now, as much driving as you guys have done, but you guys put a lot of miles on the vehicles and stuff and a lot of time prepping, the bikes and stuff. Tell us a little bit about the difference in racing like a local series and then going and racing the national series.
There's a lot more people. The classes are bigger and a lot more competition.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fast kids.
Yeah. And you've been to Florida, right?
Florida, 2 South Carolinas, Georgia, and
Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Yeah. So are the muddier races, are they muddier than Iowa muddy races?
Georgia was bad.
That's some nasty red clay or something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both South Carolinas were red clay the whole time too.
Really? Huh. So what have you found? What track so far have you found like you're liking? I know obviously where you finished the best, but tell us a little bit about what Kole likes in a track and what you've seen this year.
Round 1 at South Carolina was really fun. It was red clay, but there's like a lot of little whoops out there and a little tighter. It's just a few water puddles.
Yeah. Now, is that a new track or is that an existing one?
It's an old one.
Is it? Okay. Yep. So is there a race that you're looking forward to coming up? I mean, a certain track throughout the year?
Indiana tracks are probably going to be the ones that Hoosier in 2 weeks is probably going to be a good one, hopefully.
Yeah. Keep the weather away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool. So you got the whole season. Who else racing with you in the national series?
Dylan Trigg, Jackson Carroll, the Bergs, obviously, and that's about it.
You guys are all kind of taking care of each other, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Very cool. Working together and stuff. So we're seeing a lot of good finishes from the other guys as well. There's a lot of hard racing going on and stuff, but boy, right now I'd say that you've had the one of the best runs of the year so far.
Yeah, Dylan hasn't had the best season so far. His quads are not staying together, and Tennessee he just kept wrecking the first lap, and he wasn't doing too good.
But I think I have a hard. I know that's not what you mean, not doing too good. Obviously, you're thinking he probably could have done better. But when I see his finishes and see your finishes and stuff, I see stuff like all of a sudden you're winning here. You're winning your super mini. You're winning your junior class. That was the first junior win too, wasn't it?
Yeah, last year I ran the junior class, and Cooper was just on a roll last year.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. But I see you mentioned Dylan Trigg,
Yep.
one of your teammates there going nationals. I see him running. He was fast last year, but boy, he put some blistering times down this last race. And I guess why I'm bringing all this up is you guys are putting in that extra time and effort going to these nationals and stuff. And I can see in just the very first race, I can see that time that you've dedicated to that paying off big time for both of you.
Yeah, at GNCC you get a lot more seat time, and it's a little harder than the Iowa tracks, obviously, because it's like, but yeah, that's definitely paying off for me and Dylan and Jack.
Very cool. Now, those GNCC tracks had to prepare you a little bit for that last race at Trenton, didn't it?
Yeah, I wish Tennessee was before that one, because Tennessee was way rocky.
Really? Oh, dang. So how did you get along at Trenton? Obviously, you won both classes, but tell us a little bit about that one in your first local series this year.
Didn't have the best start in the super mini class, but ended up getting around Jenna off the start, and then got around Sunny through the creek crossing, through the rock section or whatever, and ended up just running my race from there. And then for the 250s, went into the woods second. Me and Derek were battling for the first lap, and then I finally got around him towards the end of the lap one, and got up to the lead and just rode my race from there. And the last lap, I ended up hitting a tree and wrecking really bad, and the bars went right into my knee, and still got a hole in my knee to this day. But I rode some.
Brought her home, huh?
Yep.
So is there anything that happened during that race other than obviously you just said you wrecked, but was there any certain part of the track that, you know, you thought might have been tough on people, but you just shined, or, you know what I mean? A certain part of the track that just really fits your style?
Probably the creek crossing row thing where you swerve in and out of all the creeks.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That was pretty fun.
Cool. And it's probably a little tighter than what you're used to, wasn't it?
Yeah, that track was way tight.
Yeah. We're lucky when we get the new tracks, we can do that. So cool. So, Kole, tell me, how do you guys go from having you guys get there usually pretty early in the races, and I see you guys walking the track a lot and stuff and kind of getting prepared. But it seems to me if I walk the pits, I see you guys having food all the time, just refreshments. You always got that bonfire going. You got the family thing going, you know, where everybody's just hanging out and having just a good time. What's your favorite part of the weekend? Is it the time in the pits, or is it the time racing?
The time hanging out with all the crew and everything.
And you got a good crew behind you, don't you?
Yeah.
Mention some of them guys. Tell us who's the backbone of that whole deal. The guys really helping you.
Dylan does a lot of maintenance on my quads. My dad, obviously. The Jeremy Verts. Logan Cockerham for always helping out in the garage. The whole Verts family, actually. My whole family. The Carrolls. Tyler Valentine. A lot of them.
So you guys got a lot of help. That's when the going gets rough, that really helps out, don't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of them guys are traveling with you to nationals too, aren't they?
To Florida, a lot of them went, besides the Verts, and I think the Verts. The other races, it's usually me, Dad, Jack, and Dylan all in the truck.
Gotcha. So coming into this year, you know that, I mean, that's a big commitment when you're traveling all the way across the country on these. So you had to have had time where you sat down and kind of reflected on what you've done in the past as far as racing and stuff. What was your personal goals coming into this year?
I was hoping to get a top 5 in the GNCC series, but Iowa, I'm hoping to win both championships.
Very cool. And in your goals, did you ever have it to where I would be a top 3 overall at a GNCC?
I was hoping a top 5 at Georgia, and then ended up coming out second. So
that's pretty cool. So you're checking boxes this early in the year, aren't you?
yep.
Where do you stand in points so far in the GNCC then?
I think I'm 8th, or
Yep.
8th.
Yeah, you're right.
Very cool. And where are you sitting in points in Iowa? First.
Set the bar high.
Yeah, very cool. Cool. Did you have anything for him there, Chris? Your scoring issues? Anything like that's caused by Mr. Kole Brandt?
Nothing from Mr. Brandt. It's too fast. I don't think I saw you at all in the the adults. That race for some reason just flew by with the other issues we were having. But yeah, all good. Congratulations on your success so far this year.
Thank you.
I see you have a nice jersey behind you. That looks pretty nice.
Yeah, there's a few of them around here.
Yeah.
Who's that number 10?
Justin Brayton in the Supercross.
Yep, that's why I thought it said. I couldn't quite tell, but
right.
Looks like you got some championship hardware up there, and
yeah.
Looking at
very
that.
cool.
Oh.
Is that a Boric jersey over there?
Yep, Chris Boric.
Yeah. Very cool. So let me ask you this. You've been in racing a long time. Now, I know your answer would be your dad. At least it should be. So we're going to say outside of your family, you have to pick a favorite racer. Who would it be?
Probably, does it count for my pit crew?
Nope. I want somebody outside, and then you can go. If you had a hero, someone you would consider like growing up, maybe like a hero in the ATV racing world, who would that be?
Keep in mind, Andy did race at one time in his life.
Yeah, but we're race family, so you don't have to mention that.
Wait, what are you like talking about?
So I'm a huge Walker Fowler fan.
Oh, you're talking about them?
I'm talking about any of those guys. Tim Farr, when I was growing up and racing, I loved the Tim Farrs. You know, you got your Adam McGills. I mean, it could be somebody here. We got oh man, trying to think now.
What?
The Balances, the Burrows, Matt Lindell. You know, we got a lot of people. We've been very fortunate to have a lot of fast guys racing in the Midwest before. But I just didn't know. Maybe you don't have one. Just somebody you might have looked up to before you got a chance to go to the nationals, like that guy you want to look and see how they do. Or
Hunter Hart's a nice one, or probably one of mine, and Josh Merritt.
Josh has been incredible this year, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's been doing really good.
Yeah, very good. And I think Hunter's had some good runs. He just had some bad luck, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. So cool. So tell me, Kole, who would you like to thank that's gotten you to where you've been right now?
Like all my sponsors?
Yeah.
Hold on. Gotta get my list out.
That's good when you have to have a list.
My dad, Dylan, Mike Cook, Jeremy, my aunt, Earl Harvey, the Vert family, Bad Habit Racing, Hicklin, Spider Graphics, HV4 Play, Wrath, Glan Innovations, Goldspeed, Motowash, Arm Construction, Sauced Up, Quad Tech, HVG, Checo, Struthers, ODI, Jet Lab, and Doug Schultz.
Very cool. Well, you keep running like you've been, you'll have a longer list. You'll have to have 2 pages.
I'm hoping so.
And you know something else that's changed, I can tell with you, bud? You remember every time we used to talk when you would win a race, Only you didn't want to talk to me, did you? You used to be a little shy. Now you're getting up on that stage a lot more, and man, you're starting to come too. I'm proud of you, man. You're doing a good job.
Yeah.
So cool. Well, I know it's a school night, so we better let you get to bed so you can get your rest.
Actually, I'm not going to school tomorrow.
Oh,
What?
Me and Earl Harvey are taking off to IXCR in the morning.
oh, very nice.
Is it going to homeschool you on the way there? Probably don't want to take lessons from Harvey.
So where's your race over there?
Lee Farms, Martinsville.
Oh, yeah.
Brody Lee's house.
That's a
or his
big
land.
race, isn't it?
Yeah.
Big track, yeah. Very cool. What class you racing over there?
I don't think I'm going to race. I think we're just going to watch because Dad's still working on my quads right now.
Oh, I got you. Okay, yeah.
And I'd rather not get hurt before next weekend. Hoosier.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Well, congratulations on the year so far, and we're looking forward to following you throughout the year, bud.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks. Talk to you later, Kole.
See ya.
See you, bud. Boy, there's a young man that's really hauling the mail this year.
Yeah. Among others. I mean, we've got some other younger talent as well that, like you said, they're racing not only in our series but GNCC or other series as well, and you can tell that seat time does pay off. They're faster, come out of the gate with a little bit more experience under their belts.
Yeah. Yeah. I noticed that we always have fun. We didn't do it this year, but in the past, my boy and I, we've always picked like, who do you think's going to win that first race? You know, I'll never forget last year at Stockton. I told him, I said, I'm pretty sure Vanderpool's going to get this one, you know, and just because Vanderpool is, you know, Kate had been traveling to all those early races, GNCC, and man, you put in that time, it makes a huge difference compared to the guy that hasn't had any seat time because of the weather and stuff, you know, and it means a lot for sure.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So we had Lou and Brandt.
Yep, and I threw up some tie loop here, just the winners from the first round as well. So I didn't get to talk to Kole about that. That he won both mini class and junior class. His class was picked. So by winning both of those classes, he got 2 Top Gun awards. So
wow. What's the chance of that happening?
That's, slim.
Yeah.
Won't happen again this year.
True. Yeah.
True. Right.
That's pretty cool. Tyloob do that. First year Tyloob coming on with us, you know, and I think it was new last time. Some people were, you know, still trying to figure some things out, but correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think all you really have to do is when be Chad picking them, you know, for each race, and he picks them, and if you're picked in that class and you win it, you can just go directly to his tent, can't you? The Tyloob tent, and
Tyloob tent.
Yeah.
You get a certificate, you fill it out, and you need to return that certificate back to Chad, and that qualifies you for the year-end award at the banquet or drawing. Excuse me, not award. It's a drawing at the end of the year. But you're only in that drawing if you fill out that certificate, claim your award or your prize, and get you eligible.
Very cool. I don't know if you know it, Chris, but you know, they're helping our track workers out. For the first time ever, I have Tyloob in all my machines now. I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah,
and your Honda is in just a quart or two, right, of oil?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
How many quarts of oil does that Honda take?
Takes 5 quarts. Actually, I think it's like 5.2 or 5.5. Yeah.
Yeah, quite a bit of oil. So
yeah.
But you're not. Yeah.
Super
not
happy to
only
have them guys
machines, but
involved.
you also have generators. Yeah, there's quite a bit to keep the series going as far as machines and generators.
Yeah, and we've always talked about the sprint cars and stuff with the one that we're kind of involved with this year with Jack. They've even switched over running a 360 motor. They've switched over to tie lube now also.
Yeah.
So it's good not just for the our type of stuff, but man, for construction and sprint cars, and they got just about everything. So
Yep.
it's cool
So
to have them guys on board.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to be hitting him up with some stuff for my own lawnmowers. This next one, see what kind of products he has. But if you need any products, Chad has products available at each race. If you need something at the race you may not have on hand, get a hold of him ahead of time, and he'll be sure to get it and bring it to you.
I think that really goes along too with what you just said too with the lubes and stuff. But also remember, if you're looking for race fuel, it's so much easier just to let him know and have him bring it than having to drive all over trying to find it. So it's nice having that opportunity there. So, speaking of that, I'm going a little out of turn here. We'll hold off. But
no, you can go for it. I'm ready.
We got some more stuff to talk about with Chad and Ashley, his wife. At the banquet this year, we did that drawing. I think this is the third year in a row we've done it. And man, every time I think about this, obviously having Handy on board is the only way we could ever do this. Handy lifts, the best lifts, the only lift really on the market today. It's just they're amazing, and to have the best lifts period for whether it be ATVs, lawnmowers, side by sides, dirt bikes. I think you've been out here before, Chris, and seen in my shop where we have our Handy lift. Yeah. Shoot, we always keep it clean, but we put a cover on it and have it for dinners and
when we have get-togethers out in the man cave.
Yeah, we use that for everything, and I don't know how you could go. Once you've had it, I guarantee you couldn't go without it. But if you've never had one before, I always tell everybody either you want it or it's just something you got to have once you've been around it for sure. So, but yeah, so we had that drawing. Handy gave away a lift for the Iron Man. Obviously, this should be called Iron Woman this time. Basically, what it was, Chris, is you had to race all 7 races. You get a benefit out of racing all 7 races, but you also get your name thrown in a drawing. I can't remember how many people we had in that drawing. I want to say it was like 80 some. I might be wrong.
It's about right.
Somewhere around there, give or take. But in that drawing, Ashley Bodorf was drawn out of there. And so she won a lift. I believe it's about $1,800 for one of those Handy lifts. And it's a standard lift with extensions on the side for the ATVs. And their family and Chad and Ashley's family, they've got, is it 4 or 5 racers out of there? So they're definitely going to be able to use that. And I kind of messed up. I'll take the blame on this for sure. But I had a little miscommunication with Joel over there at Handy, and I was supposed to have gotten back with him, and I didn't do it. I misunderstood and stuff. And so we had a delay in getting it to them. But the cool part about this whole thing is they were sold out. Handy was sold out of these lifts. So they had to wait till they were making more of them, this certain style and everything, in order to get them back in stock. And that's great to hear that Handy's selling that many of these lifts. So, but by not having it at the banquet this year, was the first time we didn't have it at the banquet. But by not, this allowed Chad and Ashley to go over there to right there in Sully, Iowa. And they got to go through the factory today. And I asked, look here, I asked Ashley earlier about that. And I said, what'd you think? And she said it was really cool. So their shop is super efficient and very clean. We were very impressed. So it's pretty cool to get to actually go and see where it's built. Again, just very proud of having it right here in Sully, Iowa, and they were able to take home their lifts. So I'll bet you that's one happy family tonight.
Yeah, Chad just made a comment out here that loves his wife.
Yeah.
So
Get a,
that's
oh
good.
yeah. I like that. She's gonna let him use her lift. That's cool. So yeah. Again,
Yeah, thank Candy. I mean, they've stepped forward. What we've given away now too, right? Last year's 2022, we gave it away to Brendan Lucas.
yep.
So, and I know they love that lift as well. So hopefully it's a tradition we'll carry on, and we'll see who can win a lift at the end of this year.
Yeah, exactly. So definitely think Joel and his team over there, them guys are pretty special people, and we're proud to have them on board for sure. So cool. Well, we got our handy lift delivered, and they might need it if they're all going to race the Heartland, huh?
They might. So we
Yeah.
kind of like started the promotion of the Heartland.
We definitely have a lot of news to come out with.
Yep.
We're not ready to drop a lot of that yet, but there's just so much stuff going on around it already. Got to give a shout out to the AXC guys down there in Arkansas. And I believe they kind of split their season with AXC and MXC. I think it's Arkansas and the Missouri series, but we've talked to several of them. We've got a lot of teams coming up for this year. Some of them already signed up. We're starting to get teams, like I said, already signing up. They got pre-registration open already. We're still working on securing some different sponsors and stuff for the race. But we are going up to Fort Dodge here first weekend in May for our round 2 of the Iowa series. And obviously the same home of the Heartland Challenge is right there at the Fort Dodge track is Sports Park Raceway. So we will be looking again at some different stuff up there, trying to throw some new stuff to it. We'll be turning it around from where it was last year. The year before, we had a couple issues on the side-by-side start. So we're going to redo the way that they started out there 2 years ago, to make sure we don't have that. But just a fun race. It's the spectators get to see so much, at the challenge section, the interior, the circle track that we used that time or during the Heartland.
Yep.
So.
Yep. And I was just looking because I already have my board above me here that I've got a half dozen registrations already for the Heartland. So looks like a couple UTVs. I've got an Iron Man. I've got a team, a family class. So yeah, they're coming in already. So
Chris, I don't know if we mentioned it on here or not, but did I tell you about the t-shirts, what we're doing this year?
No, you haven't mentioned it yet.
So we're going to set a date. I'm not sure exactly what date that's going to be yet. We'll put it out here, probably on the podcast. But anybody that has pre-registered, we're going to throw all those names basically in a hat. And we're going to pull some names out of that hat. We're looking for a youth rider. We're looking for an adult rider, side-by-side rider. But I would say at least 2 out of 3. I'm going to leave that window open that there might be somebody else slide in there. But I'm going to say probably 2 out of the 3 people that we put on our Heartland t-shirt for 2024 are going to come from our pre-registered. So they're the ones going to have the opportunity to make it on the shirt this year.
Gotcha. That's a bonus.
Yeah.
We also discussed this year already, a couple episodes ago, about the Heartland being recognized. So we'll hand out a red #1 plates for all the winners of each class.
I think they're white.
Oh,
I can't remember.
okay.
I'm pretty sure they're white.
White.
But yes,
well,
AMA #1 plate, correct.
Yep. So that's something additional. I think we're also going to build upon what we've done last year with the live feeds.
Steve Mueller with tire spines.
Yep, tire. They did. I think they did a fabulous job last year We even had Walker
Absolutely.
Fowler come in and do some commentary. Awesome job. I think we're going to build on that again this year as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And going back to the AMA thing real quick is
Mhm.
this will be the first time, Chris, that any team race in the United States has ever been recognized with an AMA number 1 plate will be the Heartland Challenge in 2024.
Yep. That's exciting news.
All of the ATV classes. That's youth and adult and everything. That's an AMA number 1 plate is very hard to get. So I'm super stoked over that.
Mhm.
And of course, I think I told you before too, but we'll have like 4 or 5 plates there that night for pictures. But AMA will actually send those directly to the competitors once they get the results from us. So I think that's just really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tire Spines and Steve Mueller, man, what they did last year, you're exactly right. That was a big part of the race. I enjoyed watching it. I still go back and watch some of that stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, very cool. A lot of good footage. The other thing with that too, Chris, is people that know they're coming. That's stuff that they can start sending us notes, messages. If they like, we can get them in touch with Steve. We're always looking. I think Steve is basically wanting about a half a dozen four-wheelers and about a half a dozen side-by-sides to hook up wearing cameras throughout the night. It's actually a cell phone, and you just download it and stuff. But we only had one phone get lost last year, Matt Horton's, and we found it. But we got a lot of great footage. Man, if you're talking about sponsors and stuff, wow, what a way to, get some footage out there. It's an awesome idea. And Steve just does a phenomenal job. We're very lucky to have him on board. I'll tell you what, that's the Heartland Challenge for the crew is more work in that 1 week than almost the whole year put together is. But it's still, if you ask all the crew, that's probably their favorite. Almost every time they'll tell you that's their favorite race. And I think that goes a lot for the riders as well,
Yeah.
So heard a lot of new teams coming, a lot of people just talking to a couple guys yesterday and talking about, a couple different style or different classes these guys are and wanting to pool together and form a team and, with the family class and the different youth classes, because they can race in a 50cc and a mini and a youth class at this one. But the minis racing on Friday and the youth on Saturday morning. So, a lot of opportunities, just a very unique event. Looking forward to revealing some more stuff on that in the next couple podcasts, hopefully.
Yeah, we'll keep the information flowing. If you got questions, certainly reach out. Andy's always available. I say this every podcast. He loves to be called between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. If you need his number, I'll put it in the comments.
Hey, I try to answer everyone. I know I have one that's been waiting for 2 days. I've been putting off. I keep getting busy last couple of days, but I think most people that text me or make a phone call are typically surprised that how quick I do get back to them. So I know it's something I love to talk about, and anybody that calls and has a question or a message or anything, we'd love to hear from you. We want to get them as much help as we possibly can right away. So,
yep. And if you can also use the Heartland Challenge Facebook page. If you got questions, shoot a message that way, and one of us will get a response out to you as soon as possible.
Yeah, and I want to thank you too, Chris, because a lot of people don't know this behind the scenes. You've taken on a lot more duties this year, and I know you're really trying to work on that Heartland stuff right now behind the scenes, getting stuff caught up and fixed in that area, and getting ready for everybody. So thank you for taking on that challenge.
Well, we'll leave the challenge on the track for the racers, and we'll leave the challenge off the track for me. So
there you go. Cool. So we got a couple other things, Chris. Which one did you want to go to next? Because I know you got a couple pictures that we want to bring up here.
Let's talk about Pat a little bit, and then we can give an update regarding round 3. How about we do that?
So I'm gonna bring something up here. If I can find it again. So just explain this a little bit. I still have it right here. It's with me almost all the time. One of our racers that we unfortunately lost back in 2007, Pat Kirkland. Great guy. I won't get into all the details, but obviously he's missed by a lot of our 4x4 guys that race like a family and stuff. And I was working down in southern Iowa, down by the Winterset area at Orient Maxburg. And Chris, I was in a spot, we were hauling some stuff down there, and I drove by where Pat's funeral was. And first time I've been by there in a long time. And I think I ended up driving by it about 6 times that day. And every time I drive by it, obviously that's what I think of, is Pat and the circumstances back then. And so I'd reached out to Jason, which is Pat's brother. And I gave him a call, talked to him a little bit about, just that we were thinking of him and stuff, and going by there, just kind of bringing up some old feelings and stuff. And I wanted to find out how Pat's how his family was doing with his wife and his kids. And so anyway, I was able to get a hold of him, and Jason kind of got me in touch with Carol, his wife. Mm-hmm. And I asked Carol if I could share this, and she said absolutely. But we've talked about Jason. You see the number 17, it's retired. We've had several people ask for the number 17. We retired the number 17 after Pat's passing and stuff. And but so I do have an update here. Just wanted to share with everybody. And she basically just said, hello, Jason, which is Pat's brother, said that you had wanted a little update on us. So she said, we are doing well. We've moved back to my hometown after Pat's passing to be closer to my parents and the family. And I believe it's Osan. It's Ossian, Iowa. Osan.
Yeah.
Iowa. She had went back to school and got her RN, has been working for the Cresco Clinic and Behavioral Health Department. She was able to remarry, and she had 2 additional children. Carrie is 15, Luke is 12. My husband, Dana, farms, and we live in the country by Lime Springs, Iowa. Kinsey, which was Pat's daughter, will be 18 on Monday. That's just amazing, because I'm pretty sure she was only, my math might be off, but if I remember, I thought she was only like a year old when Kirk's passing.
Yep.
So
somewhere around there. Yeah.
Yeah. Just amazing that she could be 18 already, but she's a senior in high school and is a very talented runner. She's been accepted and will run cross country and track at Western Illinois University in Macomb, Illinois, in the fall. It's been 17 years since Pat's passing, and there isn't a day that goes by that they don't think of him. Said he really would have loved that his number is still retired and on the trailer goes to all the races. She wants to tell everyone hi, and if there's a race in Northeast Iowa, she would love to come kind of catch up with everybody. So we would sure love to see that. We want to thank Carol and wish her family the best, and especially the one going off to college already. That's amazing. So we miss Pat, and it was really good to get an update from him. So,
yeah, and we kind of share the story of why that number's retired. Some racers that are new to the series may not know that. So,
yep. He'll forever be remembered with us. That's for sure. So, but,
okay.
Yeah, I just really wanted to pass that along, though. So then I guess that brings us into round 3, don't it?
Yeah, everybody is in the comments really questioning what's going on round 3. I've seen some some conversations going on last week. You kind of want to shed some light on that.
Yeah. So round 3, just explain that a little bit. We when we went into the season, we actually had what did we have? 9. Well, we had 9 tracks ready to go. Wanted to celebrate our 20th anniversary in style, with some new tracks and everything. We lost one due to the pond. He's been trying for 23 years to get a pond on there. And it was, I don't know, sometime right after we had talked to him, he got a letter from the DNR letting them know that they were approved for the pond. They're going to be putting it in. So obviously you can't be doing that kind of stuff, with messing with it when they're working on a big deal right in the middle. So we put that track off until next year. Then we are still set. We got one extra track for the year and stuff. We had another situation with the track that just didn't work for this year. But we're excited for it for the following year. So we moved our Weldon track, who wasn't supposed to come in until next year. We moved it up to take the spot where a Corden track was going to be. And so we got a full season. And then right before we released the dates and stuff, or not the dates, but the locations, we made phone calls, just to clarify everything. And we had one of our tracks, very surprisingly, just decided to back out. And I think some of it has to do with maybe the side-by-sides and fear of them doing maybe a little more damage than what they were used to. But we're still trying to work on that. We still want to make it work. But it's just not going to work for this year. So we've used up our tracks that we had lined up for this year. So we've got a couple options. We're actually going to look at 2, potentially 3 new tracks already, Chris. A couple came up at the very first race. People came up to us and talked to us about it. We're going to look at some of those new tracks, but the situation that we got for this year is we do not have time for another brand new track with stuff going on. So unfortunately, we will not be doing a race on Memorial Weekend for the first time in 20 years. So we will shorten it to a 6-race series this year versus a 7-race. I hate to do that, but there's just stuff behind the scenes that isn't going to allow that to happen right now under the time frame. It's not that we haven't tried, but everything that keeps coming up is for next year type situation and not this year. So this year we're going to just change the way we do things, and we want the crew and the racers to go out and enjoy it on the boat this year and spend time with their families, maybe in a different way. But we will not be having a race on that 3rd venue of Memorial Weekend this year. So
that's out of the way. Let's talk about end of the year championships. So normally it's states, except for AA and open 4x4, that you have to race all 7 races, or all 7 races count. Everybody else, 6 of the 7 races count. So with round 3 being thrown out.
Yeah. So you're kind of catching me off guard because we're not sure on this yet, Chris. So my guess is I would like to say all 6 will count, since we don't have a 7th one. But we will play with this and see what we're going to do, if it'll be a best, 5 of the 6, 7, or the 6th one being Ironman points. We'll do it just like we normally do. I'm going to switch gears on here, because I'm going to say that's probably how we'll end up having to do it, because, make it an odd number, so. But we'll see. Well, that's something we'll keep talking on. We'll get that announced right away. But, just not 100% sure. We've been trying to get this fixed clear up to the past couple days. So yeah, we'll get a final thing on that for everybody, at least by the next race, if nothing else. So that's only 2 weeks away.
Okay, good.
So Yep. So I think a lot of this has to do with Chris wanting that weekend off.
Yeah. So you know, we can only try as hard, as much as we can to bring something. It's just now we're kind of behind the scenes to try to even throw a different type of race in. I've heard rumblings. Let's go have a short course. Well, it's a lot easier said than being done. There's a lot of work even behind the scenes for a short course race, and then we just don't think that we can put that time or in before the race.
Yeah, and I want to thank you. Just pointed out a great point there, Chris. I want to thank everybody that stepped up, and I've had a lot of people come up with locations, for short course races and stuff where we could do that. We've thrown around the idea of the Heartland, possibly counting towards it, in some way or fashion with many different twists and turns, and the state fair race, being maybe a part of the points or something. And when it all comes down to it, it's just this: is we're cross country. We say that in our opening statement every podcast. We love the other disciplines and stuff, and we have fun with them. But we're about cross country racing, and I have a hard time saying that I can give you points to a cross country series and doing any kind of other discipline.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna have to take this one the hard way, and do it. But I guarantee you, as of right now, I'm very impressed with the input that we're getting from people of other tracks, and we're excited to go look at even more new tracks. I mean, this year we've got 2 brand new ones. Yeah, I think we've got 3 or 4. One more that's ready to go. We'll be ready to go next year. It's going to be a really good, fun track. And then, we've got at least 2 or 3 at least that we're going to look at still. So,
yep. And moving forward, like you said, we had 9 tracks at the beginning of this year. I think that's the intention moving forward, is to have, 1 or 2 extra tracks in our pocket in case we run into a scenario like this again, that maybe we can just switch it up and move to a different track. But
our goal has always been to have 14 tracks. It's never happened.
Yeah.
It's just tough to find. We went to, look what we've done. We went to Wisconsin. We went to Illinois. We went to Missouri, we've even went to Minnesota during the XC years to put a race on up there that, ended up being a phenomenal race, but just trying to get different venues and stuff. And it's very hard to come up with the places in Iowa with the way it's, land's tough here. And I think we just got to appreciate the ones that we do get, and we're always looking, but it's tough. So, yep. But we'll keep looking and keep trying and everything, but it's not due to lack of effort. I can guarantee you that.
So we have a question, kind of change the subject here, but somebody's got a question regarding Cahokia. What's the camping situation looking like? Any word yet?
Yeah, the camping is actually going to be really nice. It's we're right off the highway there. I forget the name of the highway. It's right that we're right on, but it's pretty much all flat. There's a little dip in one spot that we're going to bring some rock in to make the crossing work. If it's moisture, it might be an issue, but for the most part, it's completely flat. There's no incline at all in the parking at all. I would say if we have a great turnout, actually Thad Trump, the owner, had just called me 2 days ago, and we were talking about this subject about, we had a really nice turnout for that first race, and if we do fill up the parking where it is, where are we going to put them? So I'll be going back down there, I think the week after Fort Dodge, maybe. And we're looking at some overflow parking, which is basically really close to where we are. But the parking should be perfect. It's a nice area for the most part. I would say at least half of the parking, the track will be going right behind it, so it might be one of those things that you want to definitely get there early, if you want to be on pit lane. But it's a nice it's a nice size parking for sure.
Okay. And if there's not enough room for parking, you can always may not be able to back your camper or toy hauler right up to it, but there is access to pit lane. Correct. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. And if we're missing, a lot, which I really don't see that issue, we might just move all the Georges, their whole clan, across the road, and that'll give us some room.
Gotcha. Sure, they'll enjoy that.
Yeah. I don't think they'd have a problem with that. So you mentioned the messages, Chris, and the questions.
Yep.
That's something that I'd really like to hear, whether it be on here or if they want to message us or, on the website or something.
Yeah.
Ideas for the podcast, stuff that's popped up or, questions that they'd like to talk about. And you don't all have to be, it's not all sunshine and roses, so it can be any question they have and stuff. We can definitely cover and get that out there. And, and the questions being asked, in an official forum, we can make sure they get the right answers,
Yeah, then maybe that's something you want to briefly talk about. We had a couple of racers this round one have the helmet cam on, and that's not allowed, right? We can't have helmet cams attached anywhere to the helmet.
Yeah, kind of a sensitive subject. I think we've made ourselves clear all the time that AMA's stance is they would actually like to be able to allow the helmet cams. It's just the fact that the insurances will not. So AMA kind of gets that finger pointed at them. But yeah, there's nothing out there, period, that will allow a helmet cam. We had a couple individuals that wore helmet cams the first time that we had to pull over to make sure that we got them pulled off. And it was also indicated to us that, that we said that you could ride them. Finding out and stuff where they thought we said it, it was definitely not us. I guess the nicest thing I can say is if there's a question on something like that, it needs to come from an official, which would, most of our track crew can comment or would know where to tell you to, like to yourself, Chris, or myself, or Trace. Yeah. We can answer those questions. Some of the forums that they're going on isn't affiliated with the series. And when that stuff gets answered on those forums in kind of a reckless way, it can cause, stuff like to happen at that first race. So we try to stay away from it. You'll see that we don't really comment on that kind of stuff. We just try to stay away from it. And we might, we'll try to, yeah, we're working on that. So, but the biggest thing is, you just got to go to a place where, and if you have a question on something like that, like I said, you mentioned earlier, just message me, and I'll be happy to answer any of those subjects. But I would just make sure that it comes from, some of the officials in the series versus, another place, so. Yep.
Yeah. So I think kind of we're throwing around the idea is to maybe create an official IATV HSS Facebook post that we have been sharing on, but also having a community type group where they can ask questions or ask for information regarding the series, and that's something maybe we can control a little bit more and make sure that people are getting the appropriate answer they should be getting.
So, yeah, I think it's a great idea to have people to have a place to speak and and everything and ask questions and everything. It's just that some of them are just kind of misconstrued. It's nothing to do with the series, and answers can get put out there that might deter people from understanding the truth or the information that they're looking for. So, but yeah, so always feel free. Worst case scenario, we got a lot of people that's willing to help you, but if it's something like that you really need to know, it's making a decision, just message us and we'll make sure we get it handled for you.
Yep. All right. Got anything else you want to talk about?
You know, it seems to me like I had one other thing. And
Just one more thing. One more thing.
just one more. But I don't think at this point I do. I heard there's going to be a something fun happening at Fort Dodge race on Friday evening.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to, I think that'll be rewarding for everybody. A unique thing for our pits.
How about we hold on to that one? Maybe we can get him on the next podcast to talk about it.
Yeah, no, not this one. This one's going to be a surprise. You may not even know about this one yet. You may not even know about this one, but it's going to be fun. We're going to have fun with this one for sure. I promise you.
Okay.
So, I think I know which one you're talking about the schooling.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is something that I'd definitely like to get. Oh, thank you. The same person that's going to help with that. Yes, Chris, I have something that is important that I would like to mention. So at our Fort Dodge, the same crew that helps us with our Fort Dodge race and the 10-hour race, the Heartland Challenge. And if you think about that medic crew, we put them on the spot a lot of times. You know, that's a lot of time that they're hanging out, you know, at the Heartland and stuff and being prepared and ready to go that whole time. Last year, I don't know if you remember this, Chris, but they had a big celebration for one of the co-ops where Alabama was singing just across the way in the fairgrounds over there, the county fairgrounds, the exact same time during our Heartland. And I think it was Saturday night, all that kind of stuff. And they were having to furnish the medics and stuff for that and for ours. So they were short staffed and they could have very easily said no. And instead that they just made it happen. And we can't think of enough, but they always can't do that kind of stuff without support. And ironically, it's the day of our race up there. So it'd be Saturday, May 4th. It's from 5, I believe it's just from 5 to 6 p.m. Is 5 to 6 p.m. is happy hour, they call it. And then it's called DJ Bingo. I'm not sure about all this stuff, but it's located at the Webster County Fairgrounds. So once again, right across the street from where it is. So after the races, if people are going to hang out and camp that night, they can go over to the fairgrounds and there's prizes, it's auctions, there's a cash bar, live music, but just literally right across, it'll go to 11 o'clock that night. And it's the Webster County EMS Association. It's basically to raise money for the EMS department. So something that we can be a part of, I think, you know, and invite all of our friends and family over there from the races afterwards and go get some free or, you know, some entertainment there and, you know, just enjoy all the fun and maybe help them raise some money over there. So thank them for doing what they do for us. So that's really all I got there.
Oh, good.
So, yeah, that next one, I think that'd be a great idea. We'll get Sean on here and maybe he can, we can talk about a couple things. So,
yep.
Yeah. What Sean is saying right there, that's a huge deal. You know, we just got done with I went and met with the department down in Trenton about 3 or 4 weeks before our race. We stopped in and talked to them and everybody's having the same issues right now. It's getting volunteers and people to do these extra events. You know, that's the hardest part. They want to do the extra events, but it's getting people to cover them. So we definitely thank all the communities involved that helps us in all the races and, you know, and the support staffs and stuff. So we couldn't do it without them. That's a big thing with our insurance. So that's about all I got, Chris.
Yeah. I didn't have anything more as we gather, getting closer to round 2. We'll get a little bit more busier. Like I mentioned, the adult 90, we got to get that kind of squared away. Scoring registration update for those who are still listening. We have all 280 some of you. So everybody that registered at the last race, you are into our database that when you come up for round 2, you don't need to fill out any paperwork. If you were at round 1, we'll have all your paperwork ready for you. Should be a faster process. You just got to sign the paperwork, indicate that you're going to participate at round 2, and we can get you moved along a little quicker. So
Yeah, that
big
first
step
one-
for registration staff, and thank you, Tracy, for helping me out this week and getting that done.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. I don't think I've ever seen that long of a line at one of our races before. Those girls do a heck of a job of getting them in and getting them out, and having fun doing it. But boy, a lot of people came in a little bit later, but it was just a big rush there on Saturday and stuff. And what you guys are doing there, I think, is going to help a lot of people out. So I appreciate you guys doing that.
Yep, we're just always looking for process improvements to make everything go a little bit smoother on race day.
Exactly. Yep. Very cool. Well, Chris, I think we just start crossing our fingers that the weather turns out right this weekend, and we got to go watch some racing.
The rain is done, so it's rained all day here in Des Moines. Pretty turned into a pretty good evening. Got some sunshine here before sunset. So yeah, it's supposed to be done raining. So if we can just warm up a little bit, maybe Saturday will still be a go. Again, it's an open invitation. If you're in the Des Moines area or Knoxville area, hit us up. We can always we'll go to Slideways before the race if you want to join us, and pretty entertaining at the races as well.
Yeah, rumor has it that whoever ends up going with us each week, I heard there's going to be a prize given to somebody down in the pits afterwards. At least one person every race. So
good job.
Yeah, have fun doing that. So, and everybody gets to take their shot at turning Chris around. So
good luck.
Slide
Gotta catch me first.
Well, Chris, it's been another fun one, man. What's this, episode 9?
Episode 9. We're still learning and adapting. I'm not a good spokesperson. I'm more behind the scenes, quiet, shy guy. So thanks for taking the lead, as always, on these podcasts. Hopefully we're entertaining enough and provide some education to everyone.
That's the thing. I think this is a platform for us to get a lot of information out. I don't know if we're the entertaining type yet, but we're at least informative, Maybe we'll have to get Paul back on here to be the entertaining type.
Yep.
So
just to roll on quick, Dean just threw something up here to get it figured out with the side-by-side registration. We have Dean. So when you come up, side-by-sides will have the co-pilot and pilot listed on the new form. So we're working. We hear you. We're continuously improving, and we'll make sure it's done this one. So, all right, time to sign off. Let's we'll see you guys next week. We've got a couple guests hopefully lined up. Sean George, you've been nominated. I think it's a good idea what you came up with for Fort Dodge, that we kind of share it with everyone. We'll talk about the adult series and get amped up for round 2.
Sounds good.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Chris. We'll see you.